Hi there again everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, then my name is Claire, and we are going to play with makeup today, as we always do on this channel. So today I thought I would do like a full autumn glam, maybe like using some red tones. So yeah, keep watching to check that out. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and give me a thumbs up if you like this video, and check out the other videos on my channel. And now all that is done, I'm going to go and do my eyebrows, because I always do them off camera. They take me absolutely ages, and then I'm going to come back and we're going to get into this full glam makeup. So eyebrows and eyes are done. I used my Pear soap, I used my Makeup Revolution brow pomade, and this is in the shade medium brown. I don't often use a pomade, but I just thought I would today, because you know it needs using up before it goes off. So that's been used, and I use my Pear soap with my Rimmel Lasting Finish Fix and Go setting spray to soap my brows and get those bad boys all nice and fluffy. I used my P. Louise Rumour 05 base, as this is kind of my go-to now. I generally use this all the time. So let's get into this video, and just have a little bit of a chatty video. The pumpkin mug is back and there's coffee in it. So I have got two palettes that I'm going to dip into today. May or may not, I don't know where it's going yet, but I'm just going to go full glam. I just fancy really full glam, so that's where we're going. I've got my Carnival Fall palette. God, I forgot what it was then. And if you haven't seen my video on this, go check it out. But this palette is amazing. For some reason I can't open the lid though. It's looking a little bit bashed already, but that is the palette right there. And I love it. It's the perfect autumn palette, and I'm edging towards these berry tones today. But I also have the Morphe 35S Sweet Oasis. Now, I bought this in July when I went shopping for my wedding anniversary, and I've just not used it yet, so it does need to be used. And it is obviously it's very summery, but looking at these tones down here, these like purple and berry, this one's called Vineyard Escape. That one seems to be calling to me, so I may use some of those as well. I've just rubbed my finger over something. I may use some of those as well, and see where we go with it. But I mean, let's look at these like sea greens, and just these lilacs and things. So yeah, I think this colour here is really calling to me as a crease colour. So I'm thinking maybe that through the crease on the outer corner, or but maybe Yacht Life through the crease and that on the outer corner. I think I'm going to do that. Okay, so I'm going to take this My Kitco Pro 1.13 brush, and I'm going to go in with Yacht Life in the Morphe palette, and I'm just going to start bobbing that through the crease. Okay, so I do go kind of a bit higher up on my crease. This is a little bit powdery, but not too much. And I go a little bit higher up because I have hooded eyes. So anyone that I was going to say suffers with hooded eyes then, but that is the wrong way to say it. It's definitely the wrong way to say it. Because, you know, you're not suffering with hooded eyes really, are you? It's not an affliction. Okay, so I thought I would do a bit of a chatty video today, because, you know, it's fall, autumn, and Halloween is coming up. You know, and I'm hoping to film next week a couple of Halloween videos. But I'm not sure what looks I'm going to do. I've not practiced any. I just literally have not had the time to practice any Halloween looks. So I'm thinking this year I'm just going to go so simple on the makeup. But I do love all of these like such elaborate looks that look amazing. And this colour is super pigmented. Kind of loving it. Oh my god, the concentration to get those as symmetrical as possible was just unbelievable. We've not spoke for like 7 minutes. Back to Halloween looks. What do you guys want to see for a Halloween look? I'd say I'm probably going to stick with more simple looks this year, because, you know, I literally will not have the time to do anything more elaborate, and I haven't practiced. Okay, so I think I'm going to go in with Bon Bon in the Stacey Marie palette, the Antidote palette. I'm going to go in with this Doll Beauty like small fluffy brush, I mean, Halloween is going to be so different this year compared to last year, obviously, because last year we couldn't trick or treat, we couldn't do anything like that, could we? So I am really looking forward to it this year because of that. I'm going to take this smaller fluffy brush. This is a PC22, and we're just going to use that to kind of blend those two together just slightly. Loving those colours together though. So I'm going to go like reds and purples, like berry tones, but I just thought this pink would make a lovely transition. But I may go over it with another one just to kind of like tone it down a little bit, even though we are going to be full glam. Not sure yet. I have not practiced this look at all. I'm just going with the flow. I've done berry looks in the past, obviously, but I've not really used these colours together from these palettes, so we're just going to see where it goes. Does anyone do that? Just like sit in front of the camera or the mirror and just be like, yeah, we're just going to go with the flow on this. We're going to see what happens, and whatever comes out, comes out. But I just thought like purples and berries and browns together would just make a fabulous like autumn colour. Well, they will make fabulous autumn colours, but autumn look, and kind of like transition into like a Christmassy, wintry look as well. I mean, I don't worry about being too messy because everything can be tidied up with concealer. So what have I been up to as well? Well, not a lot, to be honest. It's work all of the time, but something you know we all would need to talk about is our boobs, our breasts. Is, you know, this is supposed to be a little bit of a life update video, but I did find a lump in my boob. It turned out to be nothing, but it was scary. It was very scary. So I'm just going to take Pampers from the Antidote palette, and I'm just going to take this really small brush, and I'm just going to go over, oh, there's a lot of fallout on that, I've not used that colour before, that pink, that looks nice. So yes, I did find a lump in my breast. So when I was washing or whatnot, I kept thinking I could feel a lump in the side of my boob, but I thought it was all in my head, because it seemed to kind of like float around or just disappear, kind of, if you know what I mean. It wasn't always there. I just thought it was in my head, and that was for like a few weeks. After a couple of weeks, I then got a lump on the other side that was like red and hot, which, you know, was quite clearly an infection. But it's still worrying, you know, when you get like this red hot lump. So I went to the doctors. God bless the NHS. God bless the NHS. If anyone watches America and they don't know what it is, that is our National Health Service. Doctors got me in same day, and checked me out. She gave me a good check over. Is anyone like really embarrassed when the doctor like checks the boobs out? Because I'm not, and I just thought that like some women could be. You know, when you lay on a bed and you've got your arms in the air and there's someone giving them a good old feel around, you know, don't be embarrassed by that, because you know, we've all got, well, all women have got boobs anyway, so yeah, don't be embarrassed by that. I'm going to go right up to the brow with the orange. So anyway, doctor got me in, and I did say, you know, I've got this here, I think it's an infection, and she had a good grope around, a good feel. She didn't grope me. She had a good feel around, and it was infection, and I had antibiotics, which knocked me right off. Oh my god, they just, oh, they made me feel awful. The side effects of them, because I don't often take antibiotics or anything like that, and even the doctor was like, oh my god, you've not even got a registered chemist here, or, you know, prescriptions go straight to chemists now. It's like, really? How long has that been happening? Because I've never done that. I mean, that goes to show how long it has been since I've been to the doctors. So anyway, antibiotics, and she referred me because I did say, look, I keep feeling a lump on the other side of that same boob, and I don't know if it's in my head or not. I keep thinking it's in my head, that I'm feeling this lump. because I feel like it's not always there, or it gets bigger and smaller, if anyone knows what I mean. I don't know if I'm being clear. So I'm going to go in with Vineyard Escape from the 35S Sweet Oasis, which is this deep colour here. I'm going to put that on the outer portions. I may even bring that purple in a little bit more. I don't know yet. So I'm going to go in with my PC07 to do that. So anyway, I got a referral so quickly. I was literally in. God, it was like within a week. This all happened in September, so in the space of a couple of weeks, and I was in so quickly, quick as a flash. I was there, and that was me being referred for a scan and a mammogram. Okay, so I've ended up going right the way through my crease with that deep colour as well. I've just gone mad with it, but who cares? Oh, has anyone noticed this as well? Oh my god, let's see if we can cover this bad boy up today. So anyway, back to the scan. So it was like within a week I had my scan date to go to the hospital for a scan and a mammogram. So anyway, date for the mammogram, and I went and I got there. I got in so quickly. I was super impressed. Because of COVID, you couldn't take anybody with you, which kind of was like, I would have liked my husband to be there with me. I mean, I understand why he couldn't be, but it's a little bit scary, and it would have been nice to have, for him to hold my hand, for him to have been there to support me through that, but obviously he couldn't, and he kept texting me and whatnot, but it is what it is, isn't it? Loving this so far. Anyway, so mammogram, I got in really quickly, and you go in and you have to wear a mask. You have to go in alone, which, like I say, it's a little bit scary, but it is what it is in the time that we're in. I mean, I wasn't the only one alone. There was a lot of women there, and a couple of men probably getting scans for lumps and bumps. So I'm going to use a bit of Vaseline to cut the crease a bit now. So when you go in, obviously they take your details and you go and see like a consultant, and then they go through everything, and she will give you another examination, and then they'll ask you all sorts of questions. You'll ask you about family history, all that type of thing, and then they'll examine you again, and they kind of like draw on you where you're going to be scanned. And I mean, obviously the mammogram does the whole breast, but yeah, they'll draw on you where you're going to do it's like an ultrasound scan like you get when you're pregnant, but on your boobs, so you don't have to drink loads of water to have it. So I'm just gonna cut this here. Oh my god, the concentration. And then I'm gonna take a Q-tip and get rid of that excess. Okay, so they are sufficiently cut, and I've got 2 of the Carnival for like liquid shadows, and I've got what's this, brass and pin up, and I've got a red or like an orange, and I don't know which one to use. What do we think? I mean, they're both very similar colours. Should we swatch them? That one is pin up, and this one is brass. I'm kind of edging more towards pin up because I think it'll go better with the purple, so I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to put that on the lid. Now, last time I used these, or used one of them, I put a base on and it didn't really work too well, so I'm going to do it without a base today. So anyway, sat in the waiting room, you go in, you get seen by the consultant, blah blah blah, and then you go in for your mammogram. Now, I'd never had a mammogram before, and it was awful. I mean, the woman in the room just made me feel so at ease and so nice, but having your boobs clamped between these 2 like plastic vice things, like, I mean, they literally felt like they were like, you know, obviously they're round. It felt like they'd gone this thin. They probably had. I didn't look. It's not a nice experience, but if it saves your life, then it's worth having. It's worth doing, definitely. So I've just taken a small brush and I'm just gonna cut the crease out there, kind of. Just really as neat as I can get. I mean, this is quite difficult when you've got old eyelids like me. I mean, you could use that as like an eyeliner as well. See how well that went across. lid there. Amazing. Just gonna tidy up there before I fill in the rest of the eye. Okay, and I'm just gonna dip in and just do the rest of the lid. I do feel like that was going on better with with the brush, to be honest. So I'm gonna take like this flat brush here and just get a bit of product on it and do it that way. Obviously I don't want to use a small brush because I would be here all day. I may even put a little bit of pigment over the top of this. I'm gonna have a look and see what I've got. Oh! You gotta let that dry. You gotta let that dry before you start tapping away at it. So I'm gonna look what I've got in my peaches and creams pigments. See what I can put on top of that, because I feel like that would look like really nice then, like really nice. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so I have one called Phoenix, which is like a red orange, so I'm gonna put that on. These are really nice, these like liquid shadows, but I don't feel like they dry. I mean, that really feels tacky, like super tacky. I'm just gonna take some of that pigment and I'm just gonna pat that on. So anyway, we're talking about squash breasts. So my boobs are in a vice, like a literal vice, having pictures of them taken. But it's just amazing that they can do that. They can, you know, get the pictures of the inside of your boob. I'm not liking that now, you know. I have to take that off and just go with the pigment, I think. I don't know. I mean, is that dried there? I feel like it's gone patchy. I like the colour. I'm gonna take it off. But I feel like it's dried on the lid, on that crease bit. So I'm gonna tidy up there while I'm at it. So I'm gonna go back in. I just feel like they go patchy unless I put like a crap ton of it on. I don't think I'm feeling that. I really don't. I think I'm going to take it off. I'm going to take that off. I mean, it does, the colour looks nice, but I'm just not feeling this liquid shadow at all. I might just use it on the inner corner or something, or underneath like a liner. But I'm not feeling it as a lid thing, a lid colour. Anyway, let's get this taken off. Okay, so I've taken that off. I've gone back in with the base, and I'm going to go back in with the Phoenix pigment from Peaches and Cream because it is so amazing. So back to boobs in a vice. Yes, it is uncomfortable. Yes, it is undignified. And yes, I am 5 foot tall and she had to put the machine on the lowest setting or the lowest height to get me in there. But I would do it all again to save my life, because even though it turned out to be nothing, it could have been something. So what they do is after the consultation they put you in these like pink like hospital gown things. You sit in the waiting room in these gowns before you go in for your mammogram. You go in for your mammogram, obviously the machine comes down, boobs squashed, all that stuff, and then you go back into the waiting room in your pink gown. You know what, I love these pigments, but the fallout is just... So you sat there in your pink gown, and then you go in to get your scan, and obviously you've still got your drawing on you where they want you to scan specifically, so you've still got your gown on. You go in to be scanned, and then you kind of get the gel put on you. Well, you don't kind of, you do, you get the gel put on you, and you've already still got your drawing on you where you specifically want to be scanned. There's pigment everywhere. And then they get the gel on you, which you would get like if you were having an ultrasound scan if you were pregnant, and they just go to town, you know, they put it everywhere, and they have you turn certain ways to get a good look at everything. It's quite ingenious really the way they do it. I'm just going to do this other eye. Okay, so that is the other eye done finally. I feel like that has taken like an hour because the lids just wouldn't go right, but now I'm really loving the look, so you know, that is something. I'm just going to do my primer. I'm going to use the Flower Beauty In Your Prime Pore Minimising Primer, and the reason I'm doing this now is so that it's got time to kind of soak into the skin while I do my under eye and lashes and mascara and all that stuff. And this primer is really nice, and it's green as well, so I have got a bit of redness like there and whatnot, so it does reduce all that redness down, and it is nice, it smells nice, it's just a nice primer. You can get Flower Beauty at Superdrug now as well. So back to my story experience, whatever you want to call it. Back to it. So I'm in the room, I've got the gel all over my boobs, and it's not embarrassing in any way, it just is what it is really, isn't it? I'm just going to go in with Vineyard Escape in my under eye. It is what it is really, isn't it? You know, I will do anything that will potentially save my life, and we should all do it. If you find a lump, then get it checked out. Get it checked out straight away. Don't mess around with these things, people, girls, men, anybody. Just get yourself looked at. I'm going to go in with Prime. No, I'm going to go in with Yacht Life again. I was going to go in with something else, but I'm going to go in with that, and I'm just going to sweep that on my under eye. So, you know, they specifically do look at an area of concern, which was the side of my boob, where I got my, well, I kept saying it was like, is it a phantom kind of lump, because I don't feel it all the time, and I think it does get bigger and get smaller, and that's why I thought it was in my head that I was feeling this lump, but it wasn't in my head. It was there. It was a genuine lump. So even if you think it's something and you're not sure, still go and get yourself checked out, because I did have a lump there, and I'd had a lump there for weeks, and I'd not had it checked, and it could have been something untoward. You know, I'm so lucky that it wasn't anything, which I'm super grateful for. But yeah, definitely just to get yourselves checked out. Once I was scanned, I could put my top back on and just leave, and then they sent me a letter with everything, the results on it. I'm going to use this 24 Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On eyeliner in Crash, and this is like a purple colour. I love that, and I'm going to put that in my waterline. Okay, so that is the eyes basically done. I'm going to go and do my lashes and mascara, and then we're going to come back to the rest of the face, and I'm going to tell you what that phantom lump was. Blah blah blah. Oh my word, I just cannot talk today. Back in a minute. So we're back, and those eyes are looking fabulous. So full on glam, so autumny. Love the purples and like the oranges together. It's just really nice. I love it. So I'm going to do the rest of the face, and we're going to carry on talking about my scan. So I have already primed, and I'm going to use my NARS, and this is the Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation. Now this is a little bit of pale for me because I ordered it online, and I generally go for quite light colours because I'm pale as, I don't know what colour this is, light 2. So yeah, I got light 2, so I didn't get the lightest one, I got the one above the lightest one, and it is a little bit too light, but these things happen. And I'm hoping that this can cover up this bad boy, but I've got the NARS Radiant Longwear Creamy Concealer, and I'm just going to bob a little bit on the back of my hand, and I'm just going to tap it over that and just leave that on for a second before I put my foundation on, and just hope that that horn is covered up, because I just don't, it's not even a spot, it's just a lump, and it's sore. It's like one of those like hormonal spots that you usually get on your chin, but on my forehead. So scan, got the gel on my boobs, and she's scanning, and you move this way and that way, and you get really good pictures and you can see them like all on the screen, and then they pay particular attention to your area of concern, which did have a lump there, and it turned out to be like some a cyst of some sort. You know, it wasn't anything untoward, it was fine, but it might not have been, which is what I'm trying to get at in this video here, really. You know, even if you think you're imagining it, go for it. Just go and get yourself checked out, because it could have been something. And this is a full-on foundation, really full on. This is like one small pump and it's done quite a bit of my face. I do like this foundation, but I do find it quite drying, to be honest, on my skin. But it is a nice foundation and it lasts and lasts and lasts. So I've just gone in with one more pump there, so that's one pump. And we're going to finish this face off. I'm using my PT19 brush here as well. I love this brush for putting foundation on, it's just amazing. So they tell you there and then, really, if it's anything bad. Obviously they send you a letter with your results on and like what you've discussed and what's been gone through, but it is, they generally say like, yeah, you're free to go, this is nothing to worry about, see you later, next. Because there is a lot of women in there, and I would have thought before COVID it'd have been even more. They'd have tried to get through in the day, because the waiting room, obviously all the chairs were separated and whatnot, but there was a lot of women in there. Like every chair had someone on it, and there was some people stood around as well. But get yourself checked, And on that note, smear tests, why are we not doing them? Why are women like not doing smear tests? These things will save your life. I do mine every time I get my letter. I get it done. It's uncomfortable. It's the nurse that's doing it though. You're not going to go in and there's like a doctor doing it, like a man. Not that all doctors are men. That's a bit stereotypical of me, isn't it? But yeah, it is a woman that does it. It's the nurse, and you know, she's doing hundreds and hundreds a week. Oh God, she doesn't care what you look like down there at all. So I'm going to go in with my Tarte Shape Tape and my NARS, because my NARS is a little bit of a darker colour. So I'm just going to mix this in with my Tarte. So I'm just going to put that there, and then I'm going to go in like that, do a little bit there to tidy up, and then I'm going to do here, here and here. And should we do it on the nose as well? Why the hell not? Let's just do it all. Let's do it all. Why not? And I'm trying to take a small fluffy brush and just like tap and blend that in. So yeah, I mean, I have my smear test done religiously. As soon as I'm sent for, you know, I'm on the blow, I'm making my appointment, I'm going. There's no two ways about it. And I keep reading that it, you know, ladies getting smear test is at the lowest point it's been in so many years, and it's ridiculous. You know, this can save your life. Just get it done. You go in, you put your feet together, knees apart, there's obviously the towel over you, and the apparatus goes in. You can feel a little scrape, and you're done. It's literally like a 5-minute procedure, if that. Probably takes you longer to get your kecks back on. Just go and do it. Yeah, it's a super quick procedure. I feel like this video has taken on a very serious tone, but this is serious stuff. This stuff will save your life. You know, I'm just going to take a Real Techniques beauty sponge and just make that, I'm sure that all of that is flawless. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you, they're not the nicest things to have done, but they're not bad. You know, there's worse things to have done. I would say having Botox done is probably more painful than a mammogram, and I have that done willingly. You know, for me, I'd sooner go in for a smear test than have to have major surgery or anything else that is associated with you know, cervical cancer or anything like that. Why would I do that to myself when I could hopefully prevent it? So yes, this is a serious video, and even though I've tried to make it a little bit a lighter tone, but God, this foundation is pale. But yes, get yourself checked out, because if left undetected, these things can be far worse than lying on a table for 5 minutes, if that. This foundation really has covered this spot as well. Woohoo! So I'm gonna take a liquid concealer. This is the AOA Studio in Cappuccino, and I'm just gonna attempt to contour my nose a little bit, because I don't like to make it look longer because I've already got quite a long nose, but it's very wide. So I'm just gonna do the nose, and I'm gonna bounce that in with my beauty sponge. It's like I'm about to play noughts and crosses there, doesn't it? So I don't know how everybody else feels about these things, these scans, these checkups or anything like that. Let me know in the comments down below. Do you go or do you ignore your letters? Because you should go. You know, and we're in a country where we're lucky we're just sent for and it's just done. This test is done as part of our national health. We're lucky. A lot of countries and women have to pay for that. Yes, and I know we do pay our national insurance, but it's minimal compared to, you know, the bills that a lot of other people face for medical care. So I'm just going to take some RCMA and I'm going to very, very lightly just sweep this on my under eye, because I don't want to bake, because it's quite a heavy foundation and I don't want to look cakey. But I'm going to use my Kimchi Puff Puff Pass powder on the rest of the face, and that is just too much for the under eye. It's a heavy, heavy powder, and it's a gorgeous powder, but on my under eye it's just that bit too much. I love this RCMA powder. It's like an oldie but goodie, isn't it? Okay, so I'm going to grab my Kimchi Puff Puff Pass, and I'm going to set the rest of my face. And you do get a puff with this, which I do quite like, but I just generally put it on with a brush because that's what I'm used to doing. So yes, that was generally all of my September. Apart from that, I haven't really got any... Oh, have I got powder there? Got anything else or had anything else going on. But it is now October. The Christmas prep is starting. And the Halloween prep, obviously. I feel like it's been for like 5 minutes everybody was going mad about Halloween, and like everyone's over that now. Like even in the shops it's like they put a little bit of Halloween stuff out, and I thought like bits and bats, and I thought, oh, they'll put more of that out because they generally do, and it seems to have just not happened. Comment down below if you agree, but it's like we've done a little bit of Halloween and everyone was so excited about it, and then we're kind of bypassing that and going straight to Christmas. I know, you know, people didn't have much of a Christmas last year. People couldn't see all the family and all of that stuff. And I do really feel for everybody last year, and I know everyone is probably so excited for this year, because hopefully everybody will be able to have the Christmas that they're used to having. But let's do Halloween. So I'm going to take my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. This is broken, but I still love it and it smells amazing, so I'm just going to bronze up with this because this face does need a bronze right now. And I'm going to bronze with my PC04. So it does oxidise slightly, this foundation. In the mirror it doesn't look too bad, but on camera it does look a little bit pale. So I'll just do that. Oh god, this smells amazing. I am going to contour as well because we are full glam today. I'm going to IKEA tonight. So yeah, this is I'm going to pick my little boy up from school. Yes, I do pick him up from school like this, because I'm not taking it off. Because I've literally got an hour to pick him up. Yeah, it's like an hour, so I go and get him. So yes, I do go and pick him up like this. And I'm going to go to IKEA like this, because I spent a lot of time in it, so why the hell not? And what we are looking for in IKEA is a new bed for my little lad with like a desk underneath it. He's 7 now and he's got a desk with his computer and his PlayStation and everything on. Not PlayStation, doesn't even have a PlayStation. What am I talking about? He has an Xbox. With his Xbox and everything on it. But he has like a gaming chair. It's always in the middle of his room, and he has one of these like cabin beds with a den underneath it, and he doesn't really go underneath it anymore. So I'm like, well, let's get him a bed with a desk underneath it, so that he's got a little bit more room in his bedroom, because it's not the biggest room. Okay, so I'm going to go in with a PC03 like cheek brush. It's a bit loose, this. You can sometimes use it for like cheeks or highlighter, but I'm going to use it to contour today. Because I want a heavy contour, but I want like not too heavy, do you know what I mean? So my good old Anastasia Beverly Hills light to medium contour kit. I love this kit. I've had it for bloody ages and I just absolutely love it, and it's such a go-to. And I'm just gonna lightly contour there. See how light that is? It's just giving me that definition that I need. Ooh. Without going that bit overboard. And we've got to do the jaw as well. Okay, so let's do the cheeks now. This is not the same cover because it's taken me like an hour and a half to get this far. I've obviously topped this up when I went off camera to do my lashes because I can't live without cover. So I'm going to go in with my Rimmel Maxi Blush powder, and this is in 006 Exposed, and that is just the perfect blush for a full-on autumn look. I mean, how much is on that brush? There's just loads. It just picks up so much. This is a highlighter brush from Beauty Bay, but I like to use it for blush. Okay, so highlighter. I've got my Topshop highlighter. Obviously you can't get this now unless you can get it on ASOS, because I think you can still get Topshop on ASOS. And this is the colour here. And this is my, I just love this, and it's a go-to one. And I'm sorry if you can't get it anymore, but this colour, if you get anything in this colour with like this pale skin tone, you've won. You've definitely won. So I'm going to take this on a PC17 brush and just, I mean, look at that. I love highlighter. Okay, so I'm going to go and do something with this hair. Probably just straighten it again like I did, like I do in every video. And we're going to come back and do some lips. I'm thinking a deep, bold lip because I like deep, bold lips. Okay, so lips are done. I'm absolutely loving this. I think it's just amazing. It's just, I love it. The eyes I love. It's just such a full-on glam, autumny look. You don't have to use the palettes that I've used. Any purples, pinks, orange tones that you've got will do fine. You know, just shop your collection, see what you've already got. I do love this palette. I kept thinking, oh my god, I need to use it. It's all summery colours, but obviously I've got these here which, you know, I've used for an autumn look. So, oh, and I've got a Shady Pot there, which is a nice brown as well. So, you know, just because it's got summery packaging doesn't mean that I can't use it in autumn, and I'll probably use it through winter as well because they were super pigmented. Not a lot of fallout. This is, I think it's going to be one of my new favourites. One of the next videos I'm going to do is I'm going to do my top 5 autumn palettes. I'm probably not going to include this because I've only used it once, but loving it, absolutely loving this at the moment. And I still love this. I've used it a couple of times now and it is amazing and it was worth the money, but I'm not loving these, so there you have it. If you enjoyed this video, then don't forget to give me a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, all of that jazz. If you manage to get to the end of this video, because I've got a feeling it's going to be a long one. And don't forget to look after yourself, because it's really important that you do. Don't forget to check out my other videos, and I will see you in the next video, guys. Bye!